So you know, about an hour ago, I woke up and I was watching some YouTube, and which I normally don't do. I was looking through my suggestions, and I found this closed alpha Star Wars Battlefront footage, and I was like, what? Because, you know, I wouldn't really imagine anybody posting that on their channel, because, you know, copyright strikes and all that, and once you do that, your channel's just screwed once you get one of those copyright strikes. So, I mean, I was really surprised, but, you know, the gameplay itself showed a lot, like, I'm serious, a lot of things we didn't see in the trailers, or, like, in any of the interviews, or in any of the tweets, or anything like that. It was just a whole bunch of new stuff that wasn't really unveiled. You know, this kind of stuff is really interesting, because, I mean, I've never seen this kind of stuff before, and it's really different from the previous Battlefronts. Like, Star Wars Battlefront 1 and Star Wars Battlefront 2, like, it's really different, the kind of stuff they added. So, you know, I'm gonna talk about some of that stuff in this video, and while I'm talking... I'm sorry. My voice is all dry, I just woke up, but while I'm talking, I'm gonna post these, links to... I'm gonna post the photos of the, gameplay footage on Twitter, like the screen cap, so I don't get copyright stricken for posting the photos on the, what do you call it, gameplay. So, you know, while I'm talking, be sure to check that down in the description, but, like, if you're on computer, you can just open up a tab and then, you know, just go to it. Or after the video, you could look at the pictures to see what I'm talking about. So, you know, in the gameplay itself, the dude was dying a lot. He wasn't really that good. And also something really quick to note, the death cams are sort of similar to Battlefield 4, so whenever you die, it will show the player's location, and probably out of the closed alpha, like in the beta, it'll probably show their weaponry, their cards, and all that kind of information. But for now, it just shows their location and their name. But to expect, I'd probably assume that it would be sort of like similar to Battlefield 4's. But that's not really what I wanted to talk about with the guy's gameplay, but the guy's gameplay itself, he was rushing. He was, like, really newbie, so he was, like, rushing through, like, the streets of the trenches. He was just, like, in the open for a lot of it. And also, something, a quick note about the layout of the maps. From what it seems like, it's gonna really look like, sort of like Star Wars Battlefront 2's layout, of how it's sort of, like, cover-based, and it's also sort of, like, open-based. There's a lot of cover, but there's also a lot of stretches where you could just charge out, where you could just sit on top with a sniper and view across the map. There's a lot of, like, hills, like, surrounding the little valley thing, where snipers will probably hide at. I mean, for what it seems like, there's really no snipers yet, but I probably can assume that there's gonna be, like, some kind of scout class, or some kind of scout weaponry, similar to, like, Star Wars Battlefront 1 and Star Wars Battlefront 2. So, you know, the dude in the gameplay, he was really sticking to the trenches, and what I've noticed is, there's a lot of trench-to-trench battles in this, and also trench-to-hill battles. Because as soon as you get out of those, like, trenches and try to rush to the other side of the trench, or just try to, like, invade, like, just ram forward to them, you're gonna get blasted. Just completely, like, just blasted completely, man. Because those trenches are your lifeline. It's sort of, like, the only way I could sort of relate to it is if you guys ever played Verdun, or if you guys have ever played any kind of World War I game, or, like, even, like, just, like, if you know anything about World War I, like, trench fighting, and any sort of thing like that, it's sort of relatable to that. Except the trenches are all, like, interconnected, so you could sort of swarm them inside the trenches, like, some sort of, like, a Japanese rushing, like, on, like, any kind of beach or anything like that. It's sort of related to that. Like, the trench battles on Hoth, I don't know if it's going to be, like, if trenches are going to be a big thing in, like, Star Wars Battlefront, but at least in Hoth, that's going to be a very big lifeline for you. And also, inside these trenches, there are these power-ups. And a power-up that really shocked me, that honestly really shocked me, is X-Wings. You can acquire X-Wings in these trenches, which really shocked me. I don't, like, for what we know, the cards are one self power-up, like one shield or one like jetpack or anything like that, a power-up like that, and a grenade. Something like that. And also something, I don't know if it's a hero or something that you unlock, but there's a third, which I'm not sure that anybody knows about. But there's also something beneath that that is your power-up. There's there's 3 cards and there's 1 power-up. And that power-up, it's just so weird, because the dude was running across, like, in the trenches, and he got into this open space, and there was this little, like, rebel icon, and he picked up that little card, that little power-up thing, and it gave him the ability to use an X-Wing, which I really don't understand, because that, vehicles in Star Wars Battlefront have always been, like, spawning in your bases and stuff, spawning at, like, checkpoints and all that, like, conquest markers and all that, and now that you have to, like, pick up to access planes and stuff, you have to pick up the, power-ups, like, inside the heat of battle, like, in places at the heat of battle. Like, I get that sort of rewards, like, players that are, like, rushing and stuff, that are really good at, like, fighting in close quarters, but for the, like, players that are, like, only good at, like, piloting and stuff like that, that's really gonna, like, shut that down. I don't know exactly what DICE is aiming for that, but I really don't see that fitting inside Star Wars Battlefront. And, you know, after that, like, after the trenches, once he, like, started rushing, once he captured, I don't think they captured all the objectives, but once they reached the limit, or whatever they did, I really didn't notice how they did it. But once because the rebels sort of win the ability to win the game by destroying the AT-ATs. What really shocked me is you don't have to destroy the AT-ATs with wire for flying those planes around. You don't have to destroy them with wire. You could shoot them to death, which really shocked me. That honestly really shocked me. And also, you sort of earn points by shooting at it, similar to hardlines, like when you just shoot vehicles, you get points for some reason. I don't understand that. But you can shoot it to death after you win the ability to win. It's so hard to explain that, because you win the ability to shut down the shields, which in turn allow you to win. It's really weird, because it seems like as soon as you shut down the shields, you win. It's very odd how that works. Win to win. That is a very weird thing to say. You know, after they won the matches with the Rebels, it showed the aftermatch stats. Which, first off, it's the rank up, which is nothing new. It's just the rank up, you know. But after that, it's the credit screen, the match rewards and all that, which is really like just weird because it converted the total score into credits. Which I'm guessing, which we know the credits, you're able to use credits to purchase new cards, but I'm not sure if you use them to purchase new weaponry attachments. Probably, but I'm not sure. Also, after that, it showed the score, which the leaderboard and all that, which is very similar to Battlefield 4's. Also, something to notice, it looks like Star Wars Battlefront has its own like battle log system, because it shows your like friends online. It looks like at the top left screen, like icons and all that, and then like a little like extra bar, like ... So that's probably like its own little battle log things for like similar Battlefield 3's and Battlefield 4's. And once the match was over, he switched teams to the Imperials, and as the Imperials, he was using a rifle, and also he was using this weird grenade launcher. It was not like anything from the previous Battlefront series. Like, it's a 3-round burst, like, not explosive on-hit grenade launcher, which is really weird, saying that as someone who played the previous, like, Battlefronts, because it wasn't like that before, and I don't see how that's going to be that effective as a grenade launcher that bounces in Battlefront. Like, to destroy vehicles with that seems like challenging almost. That seems fun to use. But anyways, that's the weird grenade launcher that you should be expecting in Battlefront. Also, there wasn't really much he did as the Imperials. That was sort of blank. He also demonstrated the 2-man squad system, which it seemed to be working. Like, once you die, the death times, spawning times, what do you call it, waiting times for spawn, that's really quick. You just die and it's 2 seconds and then bam, you're back in. But you spawn on the squad or you just spawn in your base, which isn't really that far away from the center in Walker Assault. And that's pretty much all that was in the gameplay footage. If you guys think you can notice anything in the pictures, or if you guys have watched the same video I did and you guys think you noticed anything different, please tell me in the comments, and leave a like, subscribe, and hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace.